Most people are using ChatGPT, and most mornings I go for a walk on the beach. Hey, Siri, ChatGPT. That one command opens up a voice conversation with ChatGPT on my phone. And then I use it to think out loud, bounce around ideas, get help structuring my day, or get clarity on problems that I've been chewing on. Now, don't get confused, this isn't about chasing productivity hacks. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT on your mobile in a way that actually helps you in your real day-to-day work tasks. Now, it's not perfect, but it's become an integral part of how I plan, write, solve, execute, and prioritize. Whether I'm walking, I'm working, I'm traveling, or I'm in between. These are the most practical, no-fluff ways that you can begin using ChatGPT in your day-to-day work activities, especially for those of you wanting to use it for business, planning, and content. You can access the ChatGPT app from the App Store, download it, and log in. I personally pay for the subscription because it's worth having the full version in your pocket ready to use. But let's jump in and look at the best ways you can use ChatGPT on your mobile. Simple stuff to begin with, we're going to be looking at quick learning and summarizing. Now, when I want to get my head around something, I don't rely on Google anymore. Instead, I prompt ChatGPT when I'm on the move. Now, the great thing about the mobile app is that yes, you can text your prompt and get a quick answer, but we can also lean on the voice activation and just quickly record something. So perhaps I want to ask, summarize the steps I need to take to hire my first remote contractor in the Philippines and make sure that I'm paying them fairly. Once I've recorded that, ChatGPT will transcribe and then I'll send it off. From there, we'll then get a response. Here's a clear step-by-step rundown of how to hire your first remote contractor. Here we can see we define the role, recruitment and vetting, legal and compliance, paying them fairly. Or perhaps I want to ask ChatGPT, what are some of the common bottlenecks finance teams face when scaling a small business? Again, it will transcribe, and then we can shoot that off, waiting for the response. When small businesses start to scale, finance teams often hit some common bottlenecks. Manual processes don't scale. Automation, that's where that comes in. Cash flow management, inadequate systems and tools, compliance, yada, yada, and so on and so forth. But I will mention that for a long time, ChatGPT definitely gave more context than Google. However, with the release of Gemini 2.5 Pro, well, Google's starting to catch up. Let's prompt the same thing in Google. So I asked it that same question for summarizing the steps I need to hire. And here we can see we've got the AI overview, which was provided by Gemini, which is incredibly similar to what we got from ChatGPT. Just some slight differences in how in-depth it actually went. But much like ChatGPT, we also have these source links that we can check out for more information. You will also find when comparing ChatGPT to Google that ChatGPT will give you the answers that Google seems to bury under unrelated forums and sponsored ads. And there's the first example of where the mobile app and ChatGPT on your phone will really help you. You can get quick insights, summarize, and learn new things all from the ease of your mobile, whether you're walking on the beach, traveling, or you just can't be bothered opening that laptop. Another great way to use ChatGPT on the mobile is to quickly summarize long articles, research, or client emails. Now, here we have an article that takes 10 minutes to read, but I don't have the time. I'm traveling and I need to board my plane soon. So I'll copy the article, I'll jump into ChatGPT, and I'll ask it to simply summarize it. ChatGPT then scrapes and looks at that article. It also looks at the YouTube videos if there are any embedded. And here we can see the key insights from the article. We're also shown a quick summary down the bottom there. And it'll ask us if we want to explore any more of the features or tools that are recommended in the blog post. Likewise, if you have a long email come in from a client and you're on the move but know that you need to think about it or get back to them sooner rather than later, copy the email, put it into ChatGPT, and it can help you to quickly summarize and come up with responses. Now, in saying that, there are plenty of times that I can't access my laptop and I need to get a response out quickly. Maybe I'm out with friends and my mind isn't as sharp as during the workday. I'll jump into ChatGPT, I'll speak the gist of how I want to respond to this email and ask ChatGPT to help me. Let's say, for instance, that I got this message I've put into ChatGPT. It's from one of my employees that the dev team has hit a blocker. It's Friday. I'm out of office, but I quickly need to get back to the client. So here we can see, hey, just a heads up, the dev team hit a block with the final integrations. Looks like we'll need an extra 3 to 4 days to sort it out properly. I don't want that message to go directly to the client, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate something for me. I've simply prompted ChatGPT, turn this into a client update email about the delay, but keep it professional and warm. So I'll send that to ChatGPT, it'll think, and it'll give me a polished version. Hi client, I wanted to give you a quick update on the client dashboard. Now from there, I'll copy that, I'll jump into my email, I'll tweak it so it is professional, personal, and does feel like it comes from me, and then I'll send it off. That way, it's much faster for me to send off a solid email to the client, ensuring that they get an update before they leave office. Something we haven't discussed yet is using the mobile app's voice assistant. We took a look at how we could record our voice and transcribe it, but did you know that you can actually use ChatGPT in the same way you can use Siri? We'll select this icon here, and this is going to open up the assistant.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here to help out. Whether it's tweaking your content, brainstorming ideas, or just having a chat, just let me know what you need.
Hey there, I want to do a video about using Notion for client portals. What's a fun hook?
All right, let's dive into it. So for a fun hook, you might start with something like, imagine giving your clients a VIP backstage pass to all their project info without any email chains or confusion. Let's turn Notion into your client portal's secret weapon. Something along those lines can make it feel a bit more exciting and relatable.
Awesome. Can you please give me 3 options for a written hook? Think of it as engaging, personal, professional, but thought-provoking.
Absolutely. Let's whip up a few options for you. First one, what if you could give every client a personalized command center where all their projects live in harmony? Let's explore how Notion can be that magical backstage pass. Second option, think of it like this. Your clients never have to ask, hey, where's that file again? We'll turn Notion into a professional, yet super personal client portal that just makes sense. And a third one, imagine a world where your clients feel like they're stepping into their own personalized workspace every time they check in. Let's make Notion the home base your clients didn't know they needed.
Great. And then once that conversation is done, you can close it and that will save automatically to GPT. If you want to access the conversation again, you can directly through your mobile app. You can see here the past conversations on the left, and those conversations are also saved onto your desktop. It's the account that you have connected. This has been so helpful for me in my day-to-day tasks, my ideation, and my strategy planning. If I'm out grabbing a coffee or having a break at the beach and an idea comes to me or a team member reaches out, I can lean on ChatGPT like a personal assistant to get things done. Now, make sure you keep watching this video because we're going to look at how you can voice activate ChatGPT, much like Siri, and also look at how you can bring this flow into an automated process so that when you have these conversations, the responses you get back from ChatGPT are automatically saved in your work tracker. But before we look at that, let's look at another quick example of using ChatGPT on your mobile, and that is through meeting planning. Before you jump into a sales call or a client call, you can prepare some questions that you might need to ask. For example, I might ask ChatGPT, what are 5 good questions I can ask a potential automation partner? Or I could ask, help me outline a 15-minute strategy session for a SaaS client. Now, we've already got some things that ChatGPT has brought back, and that could prepare us for our meeting. Or similarly, I already have our past meeting agenda, so I could just paste this into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to highlight the key points from last meeting. This next feature is something that I absolutely adore in ChatGPT, and that's the deep research functionality. So we'll notice that we've got our plus icon here. If we select this, we'll see some options appear. We can bring in photos and files from your mobile. You can select agent mode, study and learn, create image, web search, yada, yada. Jump into those, have a play around with them. But I want to show you the deep research functionality. Now, when I'm on my morning walks, I really have to think about the content that we'll be producing for the marketing team through the week. And that's where deep research comes in. It will scour the website in minutes, something that would take me hours, and provide me with a structured research report that I can then use to write a blog post, create a piece of video content, or even strategize the next moves for our marketing team. So while I'm out, I might ask ChatGPT, I'm creating a piece of content on the best ways you can use ChatGPT on your mobile device. I need you to conduct deep research and find what bottlenecks and issues users are facing, what limitations there are, what the best ways you can use ChatGPT on your mobile are, and ensure that we have a bonus section that shows how you can connect ChatGPT to Siri, but more importantly, how you can have an automated workflow, save your conversations, and create pieces of content in our Smart Suite content tracker. Again, that'll transcribe. Once it has done, I can shoot it off and it will then prompt me with some research questions. It'll always come back with some research questions. Here we can see, are you focusing on iOS, Android, or both mobile platforms? Some great questions there. I'll respond to that. Then it will conduct deep research. So I've answered the questions there, and now it's going to take 5, 10 to 15 minutes to scour the web, find related articles, forums, blog posts, and then come back to me with a detailed report. From there, we can then begin creating our piece of content. So here we can see that ChatGPT has come through with the deep research. It's given us a report. We've got that bonus integrating ChatGPT with Siri and much more. We've also got the source links there, so you can double check that that information is factual. Now, I will say that there are plenty of times that ChatGPT doesn't give you the correct information. And I only really see this in regards to pricing. What features are allowed on certain digital tool plans? Sometimes it will be 6 months in the past and not have that up-to-date information. So you will need to do your due diligence and double check. But from there, you can prompt ChatGPT again, say, hey, I want you to use this report to generate a brief for a blog post or a structure for a YouTube video. The power's in your hands. Now let's jump out of Office for a second and see how I use it through voice activation. Okay, so I'm 2 steps out of my office and I just want to show you how easy it is for me to use ChatGPT on my mobile as I'm walking around, as I'm traveling, I'm going for my beach walk. Basically, when I'm out of the office and I still want to get some work done, or I have some creative ideas running through my head. So I'm just going to prompt Siri. I don't want to say it too loud, but if I say a couple words, instantly ChatGPT will open for me. Hey Siri, ChatGPT. And straight away, ChatGPT is opened. It's going into voice activation. Hey there.
Great. I'm all ears and ready to go. Feel free to talk to me whenever you're set, and we'll get things rolling.
Awesome. Hey, ChatGPT. I'm trying to come up with a video on how my viewers can best use Make's AI agents. What should I think about?
Absolutely. Let's dive into it. So if you're doing a video about how to get the most out of Make's AI agents, you might want to think about a few key points. First off, highlight what sets these AI agents apart, like their unique features or how they can streamline tasks in a way that's really practical for your audience.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate all the help. Have a good day.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help out. You have a great day too, and if you need anything else, just give me a shout.
So that is how easy it is for me to access ChatGPT while I'm out and about. And it should really be that easy for you too. There are plenty of times when you'll have a creative idea, or you remember something that needed to be done at work, or perhaps you have a different way of looking at a problem. Well, you can activate ChatGPT and access it directly from your voice. And when comparing ChatGPT's voice assistant to something like Siri, well, that back and forth is a natural conversation, and it really, really helps me to get ideas out there and plan my week ahead. So we've taken a look at the best no fluff ways that you can begin using ChatGPT on your mobile, but I wanted to leave you with a bonus section. Perhaps some of you are incredibly busy and you don't want to have to jump into ChatGPT on your desktop or look at those past conversations you had while you were out and about. You instead want them to automatically populate your work tracker. Well, this is definitely possible and something that we have set up here. Now, it's not something that I personally use in my workflow because I just simply don't need to. However, I want you to know that it is something available. Anytime that you set up an automated workflow, whether it be connecting your mobile ChatGPT to your work tracker, or sending out an email campaign from a lead capture form, or notifying your team when a new sale is made, you will have to choose an automation platform. There are plenty out there: Zapier, Make, N8N, Relay.app, Pipedream are among some of the most popular. Now, while the setup will differ slightly, the process is pretty much the same. I've used Pipedream to set up this automated workflow so you can quickly look at how it will run. And the reason that I've used Pipedream is so that you can take a look at String, which was released by the team recently. Much like how we prompt ChatGPT to do things, well, we can prompt String to build an automated workflow for us. Here, I've kept things incredibly simple. When a conversation happens in ChatGPT, I want a new record to be created in SmartSuite. So String is now going to take a look at what templates it has and build for us an automated workflow to follow that prompt. So it's now come back to us and asked us to approve the build. I'll create an agent that monitors ChatGPT conversations and automatically creates new records in SmartSuite when conversations happen. Since ChatGPT doesn't have direct webhook triggers, I'll set up a webhook trigger that you can configure to receive conversation data from ChatGPT through their API. Now, I'll approve that, but I will tell you that in order for you to have this set up, you're going to need to pay for a paid ChatGPT plan in order to access the API. So here we can see we've got a pretty simple build. We've got a webhook here, and we've got the Create SmartSuite record. So let's open this up in Pipedream and start making edits and looking at how we can actually improve this, because I'm sure that you don't want every single ChatGPT conversation you have to be brought into your SmartSuite tracker. Now, before you actually finish setting this up, you're going to have to create a custom GPT. It's very easy. Don't get overwhelmed. All we need to do is we'll jump, open this sidebar, and we'll see here GPTs. Select that, then select Create. And here is where you create a custom GPT. Now, if you're not already aware of this, you can train a model to answer specific questions in a specific way, handle prompts a particular way. Basically, you're building your very own assistant. And I do recommend jumping in and playing with this. I have particular GPTs for my marketing, for my writing, for my coding, problem solving, and so on. So here we've got the create, but we're first going to jump into configure. We're going to name this webhook marketing because that's what it's doing. We'll leave the description and we'll include the rest of these inputs. So I'll quickly just show you what I input for the instructions. Don't worry about description. You are a conversational assistant designed to help users capture their business thoughts, workflows, and ideas. If the user explicitly asks to log, save, record, or send this to SmartSuite, you must call the log tool SmartSuite tool, which is going to be the webhook. Then use the user's last message as user_prompt. Use your reply as ChatGPT_reply. Only trigger the logging action when clearly requested. Do not log automatically. Wait for the user's direction. Always keep your tone professional, yada, yada. So it is imperative that you include clear instructions. Then you'll also want to select which model you prefer using. Trust me, you'll want to use the 4.0, not the new 5 model while it's available. We have the ability to select the capabilities, web search canvas, image generation, code interpreter, and data analysis. I'll include that. And then we've got create new action. So this is where we inject that webhook. We've added an action for this. We've got the authentication. We'll leave to none because Pipedream is public. We've written a script. Now, if you do want help on how you can create a script in order for this, make sure to leave a comment and we'll create a video on it. But beyond that, we'll need to include a privacy policy, and that will be Pipedream's privacy policy. So I'll grab that. I've pasted that there. Now we'll create this. Here we can see webhook marketing created by me. We'll save this. Now we only want it visible to me currently. I don't want to share this with anyone. So here we are on the desktop. I'll just quickly ask log new record. I'll shoot that off. Then if we jump into our webhook marketing wants to talk to, so it's asking me if I want to confirm that it actually sends this to the webhook, and it will. If we jump into Pipedream, we saw that we were creating a new event has come through. So Pipedream has captured that conversation. We'll bring it in through there, and then we'll see the data from the conversation here. We've got the query, we've got the headers here, which will actually include a lot more details, but we are specifically looking for the user prompt here, log new record, and the chat reply. Now that's a very simple example we looked at, just bringing in the conversation to our automation platform. If you want to learn how you can build a fully functional automated workflow using your conversations with ChatGPT, make sure to subscribe to the channel because that is going to be coming soon. But basically, you'll be prompting GPT, letting it know which responses and user prompts are actually going to be shared with your work tracker. And then from there, you could either update a description input field, or what I am going to show you in another video is actually generate a brief and script using the research from ChatGPT. Well, I hope this has been a helpful video. If it has, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. Let us know what else you want to see. If you're looking to find out the best AI tools and digital platforms, then check out our other channel, Software Finds. And if you and your team are struggling and need help, then do not hesitate to reach out to us at automationhelpers.com. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.